Ever since I came, I have felt like I'm part of the family here. They've always welcomed me, always loved me, always embraced me, so I've always felt like this is where I belong. This is my family.
The congregation came together, and during the Pastor Appreciation Month, they raised $10,000, and they sent that money to the Ministry Excellence Project. And the Ministry Excellence Project doubled that amount and sent it on to pay for some of my school loans that I had incurred.
Aaron Gross pastors the Logansport Church of the Brethren, Val Klein the Pleasant Chapel congregation. Both have benefited from a program funded by the Lilly Endowment called the Ministry Excellence Project to help congregations in the South Central and Northern Indiana districts support their pastors.
To assist them to alleviate the financial burdens of pastors, and thereby to strengthen pastoral leadership and to enhance vitality in the congregation.
Many of the 90 or so congregations in the two Indiana districts are similar to others across the denomination, small and financially struggling, and frequently unable to pay their pastors as much as they would like.
A lot of our congregations are small and offer part-time incomes to pastors, often with low or no benefits, and so they struggle. And deep down, church people know that pastors need more support, but I think sometimes churches feel guilty that they can't.
What pastors can do is apply for grants from the Ministry Excellence Project to help with special needs, such as sudden medical bills or ministry training events, any kind of special need.
Sometimes the grants are just a few $100s. And in a couple cases, they've been over $10,000, and it just depends on the need. They don't necessarily have to be matched by the congregation. We have a process where I converse with the congregation and determine if they have the ability to do that. And in some cases they do up to half, and in some cases they don't, or they're not able to right away.
The grant to Aaron Gross was one of 88 grants awarded by the Ministry Excellence Project during the first 4 years of the program, in all more than $107,000 worth. Sometimes what a pastor needs most is a token of appreciation. During Pastor Appreciation Month in October, the Pleasant Chapel congregation took advantage of the Ministry Excellence Project's offer of $150 matching grants to congregations that would show appreciation to the pastor for their service. Pleasant Chapel used the money to rent a local restaurant for a special congregational meal.
The church came to me and they said that they wanted to have dinner and to celebrate what I do here in the church and what I do for them. I have never heard of a church getting together and celebrating their pastor in this way, going out to eat and then giving them gift certificates.
Pleasant Chapel also applied for and received a small grant to help Val pay for some unexpected dental bills. Those funds were matched by her congregation.
Well, it's difficult for a pastor with a lot of financial burdens to give himself or herself to ministry fully. It weighs down upon the person, not only on finances, but on the person emotionally and on their time. And therefore, receiving some assistance will enable them to be more effective as pastors. And as a result of their being effective, then congregations being more effective.
At Logansport, Aaron Gross started his pastorate with no theological training, but getting the kind of college and seminary degrees necessary for effective ministry required significant debt that was partially reduced by a grant from the Ministry Excellence Project and a special offering from the congregation.
We saw this as a need of Aaron's which need to be filled. We saw it a way of showing our appreciation for all the work and devotion that he has provided here. And as a congregation, we have grown not just in numbers, but we have grown in faith as well, I'm safe to say.
This congregation has been a great church and a wonderful place to be a part of. It's also been one that struggled financially as many years as I've been here. And to see them come together and raise that kind of money to help their pastor out was just an incredibly emotional time for me as a pastor.
All things being equal, the longer we stay employed.
The fund also supports special educational experiences for pastors, like this workshop on retirement planning.
Besides gaining good information for my own process and discernment, as a pastor, I'm very mindful of the many people in my congregation who are also facing the same issues.
What we wanted to say is that retirement is not the end of life, but that it's a journey that has possibilities, new opportunities for growth and for just expanding your world.
And of using what we have learned in the earlier seasons of life, and now we can use those to bless others.
The Ministry Excellence Project also funds opportunities for pastors seeking help in managing their finances, taxes, and credit card debt. The broad issue of how we deal with money was shared with pastors and lay people by a Ministry Excellence Project-sponsored series of comedy skits presented by Ted and Company.
Part of the process, Mr. Legion, really? Very simple question. How much money do you make? What is your income?
Well, I'm not used to answering that kind of question. It seems a little personal, doesn't it?
The idea with Ted and Company was we don't want to talk about money, so they acted out some creative drama to get us to start to think about our attitudes about money and finances.
I only got denarii. You're going to need to get that changed.
And what's really important as congregations, as pastors, as faith-filled people.
The hope is that these kinds of opportunities and grants will continue past the scheduled expiration of the program in 2015, that there can be an ongoing fund to help undergird pastors in both districts and ultimately the congregations they serve.
The grant was given to each of these 16 judicatories with the understanding that they would match the funds that had been given. And, not period, and that they would continue to raise funds in order to sustain the program beyond the time period that they were receiving funds from the Lilly Endowment.
So the Ministry Excellence Project seeks contributions from congregations, individuals, even corporations or other groups who recognize the importance of supporting the pastors who shepherd our congregations.
We all want to stand by our pastor, but maybe you can't support them financially the way you would want to. So I think Ministry Excellence Project acts as a resource maybe for pastors to get a little help when they need it.
Sometimes we do get discouraged, and sometimes we think, is what I'm doing making a difference? Does it really matter? And to get the kind of feedback that I got through the cards, through the letters, through just people giving me a hug throughout that month, it was affirmation.
It's an amazing blessing to know that if there's ever a major occurrence in my life, whether it be medical, whether it be with my education, and even with retirement, that I have some place that I can go. I got people that I can call. I got people that have my back in ministry. In a day where it's difficult for churches to have a lot of money to be able to help their pastor, there's another location that we can go, and people that care about us and want to help us.
Please consider how you can support the Ministry Excellence Project and help remove some of the economic barriers that cause stress on pastors, allowing them to be more effective leaders for our congregations and strengthen the Church of Jesus Christ. Affirm the ministry of your pastor and congregation by participating in the annual Ministry Excellence Sunday program. Ensure that your congregation talks openly and honestly with your pastor, at least annually, about financial compensation. Encourage your pastor to attend financial education events so that he or she can manage resources wisely. Or donate as individuals and churches to the Ministry Excellence Project so that we can continue to assist struggling pastors. Look for more information on the Ministry Excellence Project website.